Aha! Did that work? Aha! It did. All right. Now we're in business. Now we're in business. All right. Give me a second. All right. Check volume now. All right. Seems pretty good. All right. Yeah. Again, it's been like 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks, something in there. The system I have was not functioning as well as it should have, and it was cat hair. uh, but anyway, I played this before on stream. I don't know. Maybe my voice is doubling over again. No, I think we're good. All right. So, I don't know. I enjoy playing in first person with just Metal One, especially. I think that's the only one that you can actually do that in. I used to play this a long time ago when I was a kid and a teenager. I didn't play it very much later on past teenager, but no, yeah, even up to when I was a teenager, I was playing Twisted Metal, all the ones I could get my hands on. So like, I didn't really play too much Twisted Metal 4. I didn't really play too much Twisted Metal, um, the PS3 one. I didn't play that one too much. My friends did. Like, I don't know. I kind of fell out of it by then. I was like, okay, it's Twisted Metal. I could just play Twisted Metal. Yeah, it looks nice and flashy, but really, when you come down to it, I think Black is a little bit better in that how it feels. Suck on that, dude. So yeah, with Spectre, you're always gonna be one. You're gonna always want to be moving. Always, always, always. Don't ever sit still if you can help it, and do not smash into people. Last time I streamed this, that's what I did. I just ran into somebody a whole bunch of times. Like, I survived all the way up, didn't lose one life, I think. I'm pretty sure. Up until Suburbia. And yeah, got him with the mine. Uh, and then in Suburbia, I lost all three of my lives just by talking and not paying much attention. I turned a corner quick into Sweet Tooth, and with Twisted Metal 1, I don't, if for anyone who hasn't played this, uh, Twisted Metal 1, the collision for anything, even just regular walls, is horrible compared to the early or the later ones. Like in Twisted Metal 3, you can straight up ram somebody and not have to worry too much about it. But in Twisted Metal 1 and Twisted Metal 2, a little bit less in Twisted Metal 2, they kind of mitigated it some. In Twisted Metal 1 especially, smashing into somebody, especially if you're a Spectre or a Grim or Crimson Fury, you're gonna feel it because I don't know whether it's the mapping of the cars, like the actual boundaries of the cars themselves, or if it's just how they're coded. But if I were to like smash into Warthog over here, my car would like vibrate against his car and like try to go inside of his car and not be successful, but still try a whole bunch, just enough that like however fast you were going, it would try to mix your positionings, like your pixels would try to mesh, and it wouldn't work. And for every time that you would bounce into them and against them, you would suffer a lot of damage. It would just be like eating away at your health, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Um, Again, later games that wasn't much of a problem. Uh, Small Brawl did bring that back a little bit, but yeah, it was all mitigated because like it's just like their arena wardens, the enforcers over here, the guys in the orange jumpsuits that shoot at you. It's just like those. You don't see that stuff anymore in the later ones. It's just the cars. It's not the people fighting back or like. That's what I loved about this Twisted Metal in specific. It had great world building. It felt like you could see the people running across the street and they're trying to, oh my god, this it's going down, it's going down, I gotta get home. You know, other cars in the way that are able to be blown up, and if you blow up a lot of them, they have stuff inside. I'm actually kind of hurting here. Uh, Turn around. There you go. And but yeah, there was like a whole thing to it. There was more majesty, I guess. It was a little bit more grounded in reality versus Calypso flying around the world in a blimp. Everything's literally on fire. You guys are over in Antarctica, ice dropping, which it's admittedly cool. Don't get me wrong, it really is. But it's just it's super fantastical. You know, it's so out there that you lose a lot of the dog running across the street. You know, that it doesn't exist in the other ones. I mean, I can understand the dog being gone though, because like even as a kid, I was like, why? I don't want that here. I don't want to think about a dog running across the street in a war zone. The poor buddy needs to get home. He needs to get safe. The other humans, I didn't really. I ran them through and didn't think of anything about it because it was a video game and I was a kid. But like, even as a kid, it was still wrong for the dog to even be here. It felt bad, you know? And they took it out. Right there. See how I'm like bouncing against them? You probably couldn't see it that well. Um, but I was bouncing against them and it just ate our health away there for a bit. But yeah, no, like a lot of the majesty of, I hate caltrops, is gone in the later ones. And that's kind of why people liked Black a lot, I feel, is because it did bring it back into that real world aspect that like, all right, these people could be my neighbors and shit like that. Well, you couldn't really get that too much with this one because you still had the Grim Reaper and fucking Satan with Mr. Ash and Darkseid and Mr. Grim being the Grim Reaper and Spectre being a literal ghost. I mean, there was still fantastical shit, but like, and even in Black, there's fantastic like Black himself, manslaughter, Black. Dude's immortal, right? He ate a C4 explosive that Calypso left for him, and just didn't even think about it. He just whatever, you know. But the community mythos says that that Black was sent to that Calypso by a different Calypso. I'm assuming it's either this Calypso or it's, well, no, who else? Which other dark side has to deal with Satan and Black? It has to be Twisted Metal 1, right? Right? Because Darkseid wasn't into. Oh, now I'm second guessing myself. Was he? No, no, Darkseid wasn't into, and I think that's because they had a mix up with Minion. Because in this one, Calypso gets his power specifically from Black, specifically, and Black is whoever Mr. Ash, whoever's driving Darkseid. Black belongs to him. Black is a mystical, superpowered creature. Uh, you know, I don't know what it's a mythological being. I'm guessing it had a Minotaur head in the uh, unreleased videos, where they didn't actually go with them. But the text crawl still has that, like, it still has Mr. Ash coming up and taking Black back. So, um, it would only follow that Calypso in Twisted Metal Black was being hunted by, if the community's right here, Calypso in Twisted Metal Black was being hunted by this Calypso, Twisted Metal 1 Calypso specifically, right? Because Darkseid doesn't exist in Twisted Metal 2. Darkseid in Twisted Metal 3 is, like, unnamed. You don't ever actually get to play as Darkseid, right? In 3, because he's the Washington D.C. mini boss, and then you got Minion. Oh man, were you able to play Darkseid in Twisted Metal 3? No, because it was such a big deal that Darkseid came back in Black, right? Oh man, it's been so long since I've actually thought about this stuff. But no, it's the community thinks. I'm not positive. Uh, I don't really see a way that it 1,000,000% couldn't be, because if that's the ending where Darkseid wins, if that's the ending where Black gets taken, Black is the thing, or Darkseid doesn't win and Black's still in Calypso's possession and he sends Black while still in his possession to Calypso in Twisted Metal Black. But Calypso in Twisted Metal Black isn't real, because Minion is Marcus Kane and he says we're all in Sweet Tooth's head, Needles' head, in Twisted Metal Black. Now, okay, now I'm just getting to the point where it's just a fucking video game. Nothing's real. None of it's real, right? But like, for it to take itself even slightly seriously, it's gotta have some, like, not, it doesn't have to have a meaning, it doesn't have to have a reason, but there's gotta be like a purpose. You gotta be doing it for some end, and that would possibly be a meaning and a reason, but not necessarily. That's just semantic talk at that point. I'm not gonna get into it, but I don't know. Like, because then you have to ask yourself, who won Twisted Metal 1? well, that would have to be Outlaw, right? Because Outlaw has another ending in Twisted Metal 2 where he is in space. He won. If Jamie Roberts Outlaw 2, if Jamie Roberts Outlaw 2 wins Twisted Metal 2, Carl Roberts Outlaw 1, just Outlaw, uh, he's in space. He won Twisted Metal 1. That's why Jamie's even in Twisted Metal 2. So then it would follow for Outlaw 2 to even be part of the competition. Outlaw 1 had to have won, right? Otherwise, she wouldn't even be there. Like, she wouldn't have had a reason to go find her brother if he wasn't in space, right? Because then her reason would be just what Carl's was, when it was, I want all this Twisted Metal shit to stop, you know? Um, and that's what they ended up trying to do in Twisted Metal 3. But there was, see, and this is where the contention point is with Twisted Metal 3. It felt like it was supposed to be a continuation, specifically because of Outlaw. Because it was Carl and Jamie Roberts. Again, the only difference was now they are both blonde. Like, they weren't blonde before, but now they're blonde. And, you know, I don't know. Because Minion's still a thing in Twisted Metal 3. But he has none of the actual, like, driving force behind him. When he gets to Calypso, his wish is to go to hell. Why isn't it to take his power back like it was in Twisted Metal 2? Does he already have his power back? If he has his power back, why is Calypso able to grant wishes? Like, Twisted Metal 3 was such a mess up on 989 Studios' part. It's like they felt like they knew what they were doing and that there wasn't anything to Twisted Metal when there kind of was. Like, don't get me wrong. I say that, oh, yeah, I understand. Uh, excuse me. Um, it felt like, you know, when you first play this game, it's just car combat for car combat's sake. But, like, there's an actual mythos behind it. There's actual story. All the characters, even if some of them are incredibly, you know, comedy based, just completely for hilarity's sake, even with that, you still gotta have a thought process for the other ones that are actually serious. Like, case in point, Mr. Slam in Twisted Metal 2. His wish is, I want to build the greatest tower of all time. I want to be known for the rest of eternity. Why am I freezing? Stop. Okay. Uh, that was weird. For the rest of eternity, for making this. Hold on. Wait up. Is my stream stopped? I don't know when my stream stopped. All right. There we go. Yeah, I don't pay for that. Sorry, man. Um, but yeah, uh, get out of my way, man. It's just like they saw Twisted Metal and were like, "Oh, cool. We want to make something like that with all the same characters and all the same stuff." But when they tried to, they didn't know what the characters really were about. They didn't really know. They didn't grasp, like, be careful what you wish for. That's entirely what this game was kind of like for me. It was be careful what you wish for. It was a lesson in, you know, bad people are bad people and usually bad shit happens to them. Yeah, we're fighting for a reason, but we are killing everybody on our way. And Calypso, who set up this competition specifically for that reason, is only going to screw us over when we win anyway. But where they saw that Calypso was just this dude that has magical powers and screws over whoever wishes for something, no matter what their wish is, it wasn't always like that. It wasn't just Calypso gave you a wish and then automatically screwed you over. It wasn't like that. Calypso was malignant, yes. He definitely had that side to him where, he would twist your word on you. You definitely be careful what you wish for, but at the same exact time, there if you if the competitor worded it well enough, there was no if, ands, or buts about what Calypso granted, because like the wish was granted regardless. If there's no give, if there's no side to side movement on, oh, the wish could mean this, the wish could mean this, then he has to give the wish as it was wished. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. Okay, yeah, case in point, in this game, Sweet Tooth. What does Sweet Tooth wish for? He wishes for his best friend. Now, in the retail, this, not the unreleased videos endings, in the retail, he gets his friend, which is a paper bag, uh, and he drives off. Calypso didn't trick him, didn't do it. He just gave him his paper bag, and that was it. Now, in the extended video, or in the unreleased video version, I actually kind of like it because it it really painted Sweet Tooth not only as this crazed individual that, like, dude's mind's gone, right? He's crazy, but at the same time, I don't know if this is exactly how I'm supposed to take it, but this is kind of how it felt to me. Um, when he says, "Do you know what they made me do? Do you know what they did to me?" It sounds like he's talking about the competition. Like, do you know what I had to do to get you back? And then he freaks out and he goes, "It's my turn. It's my day. It's my time." And he turns the gun on Calypso and all of his flunkies. So it makes me think that while yes, Sweet Tooth is. Oh crap! That's exactly what I was talking about with the ramming. My health just sank there for a bit. Um, while stop trying to freeze me, asshole. While Sweet Tooth is messed up, massively so, he still had this. He didn't want to go on a murdering spree. He just wanted his friend back. He didn't want to have to go through all this shit to get his friend back, but here he is having to do it because that's what Calypso said. So, like, Sweet Tooth wasn't originally this super badass freaking serial killer guy with freaking what is it, uh, soldered off fucking sheet metal made into a sword and shit. Like, he wasn't like that. Yeah, he was crazy, but he wasn't. I don't know. It was because it was the unreleased version. I can't go off of this. It's not canon, right? The canon ending, he just drives away. He doesn't shoot down anybody or anything. He doesn't pull a gun. He just drives away. And yeah, get those refires out. So it really felt like they were avoiding the development team. Were avoiding the fact that if they start putting crazy clowns wanting paper bags as best friends, shooting people, that's gonna be a bad thing to be putting out there sometimes, like that's not gonna be exactly politically correct, no matter how much people don't like that thought here and now. back then it mattered. You know, it might not matter to you now, but it did then. That was sales. You had to think about what you were putting out there because that meant how many people were going to be invested in your game. If all of a sudden your hero doesn't make it in time to save the girl and some bad stuff happens to the girl, people are probably not going to like your game. You know, I tried all this hard. I got to level 99. I got all the secret items and stuff, and I still didn't get to save her. You know, like it's what's content is in your game is going to make people want to play it. Is what the cancel culture was about before Twisted Metal specifically. I feel like they definitely wanted to go above and beyond and like push the boundaries. You know, they definitely wanted to push the boundaries, but they knew that while they were doing that, there had to be some lightheartedness to it. It still had to be enough that like, hey man, we realize that the world sucks like this, but at the same time, it's not all bad. You know, you still have to have that thought of, because like, think about it. What made Crazy Eight so? I mean, he's the fan favorite, right? Aside from Sweet Tooth, it's Crazy Eight that everyone likes. At least that's what I hear. And I mean, I'm not against that. Crazy Eight's awesome. But it's because it's a story of pure revenge. The guy was wronged in the absolute worst ways possible. Same with Junkyard Dog, but Junkyard Dogs was like, I don't know. That one was ruthless because he went after the wife first. Um, uh, just break up with her, man. Like you don't got to do all that. I don't know. But Crazy Eight he was a boxer and he lost his fight and oh well, he lost the fight. That happens. But this guy, a doctor, bet on him, lost the bet, and because he lost the bet, was like, all right, I'm gonna screw you up. Takes out his eyes and his tongue and sews it up his mouth and everything. Like, so when he gets his wish, it's I want to get the doctor back. And the finishing line is something along the lines of, you know, I never was able to knock a guy out in one punch before. This is the first time, or something like that. And it was the kind of story that was dark, gruesome, and bloody, but at the same time, it made you feel good about it, you know. Whereas with Mr. Grimm, Mr. Grimm was probably the one that everybody remembers the best because I mean, that's heavy, heavy material. That is very heavy content. What you're putting in that game right there, because I mean that's real life shit. That war actually happened. People were actually tortured and possibly had that actually happen. Like you might be playing a lot of strings there that maybe people don't want played. Um, but at the same time, here we all are, the young ones, eating it up. Uh, oh, nice. But it felt like they were going in the direction that they didn't want to go before they pulled black. It really felt that they knew they were losing what Twisted Metal was originally a lot, and they wanted to rectify that with bringing it back because it was way too far into the silliness category. It was way too silly compared to what it should be. Like this game is silly, it was funny, but at the same time, it had that visceral nature to it. You know, that bloody instinct, that the need to, like what the kids play battle royale today and Fortnite and all that. They love that shit. Not too much into it because I prefer TDM. You know, I prefer being able to tear down a building instead of some dude build up a building in like 3 seconds flat. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. Anyway, not my say, not my game. You can say I'm trash all you want at it. I played it twice back in the first year of it ever being existent. And back then it was shotguns at point blank range did a total of 9 damage. You could fire an assault rifle and it'd go off at 45 degrees from where you were aiming. And it's like, that don't make sense. That don't make any sense. So I got jaded with Battle Royale really quick. But this is a lot of what that feeling is for them. I feel like that oh crap, I'm in the back corner and I'm by myself, or I've only got my squad, whichever, because some of these were 2-player and so on. Ooh, I'm about to die. Ooh, I should not have gotten in there. But what it is now for them, it was for us in a way. Like, it's totally different. We're not on foot with assault rifles or rocket launchers like that. We're in cars. But when I hear the developers talking about this game when they were making it, it kind of felt like they were trying to say that, I wanted to make Overwatch with cars before Overwatch ever existed, and like every character has their own stats, every character has their own special weapon, and we're all in an arena together with one goal: kill each other. Whoa, I hate those things. I don't know why I just picked one of them. It's a different arena type. It's a different strategy type, run and gun rather than get on the point, push the cart, right? But at the same time, like, there is a lot of that to it. When they were talking about it, they were talking, I want this to feel like an arena fighter, whereas you weren't able to do this, like turn on the spot in real life in a car. But they wanted to be able to make it so you could do that in this. Shit, that didn't find anybody. And it felt like this was a time of wonderment when this game came out. When the PlayStation 1 and then 64 were like, first in the spotlight and everything. Everything was, I'm speaking from nostalgia because I was a kid when this all happened, so it was all magical to me and shit. Like, I was just playing Ace Combat 7 and I was thinking about it, and because when my laptop died, or didn't die, had problems, whatever, I was playing the older PlayStation 1 games and stuff like this, and nice, no lives lost. I was playing the older PlayStation 1 games, and I was playing air combat, what Ace Combat was originally, because it was air combat back then, and then it was Ace Combat 2. Uh, but with air combat, it's the only one of that game series, I think. I'm not positive. I haven't played all of them, but I've played like most of the numbered entries and some of the side entries. Like, I have not played Ace Combat 6. Did not see that mine till too late. I did not play Ace Combat 6 because that was only on the 360, and 3 of the 360s I had Red Rings of Death, and I was just like, you know what? If they're just gonna sell me faulty products, I have no faith in them. So I stopped playing Xbox. I don't trust Xbox one bit. I never will. After Microsoft, after I heard, because like I don't know if this is 1,000,000% true or whatever, but the evidence lines up. They said the reports found that Microsoft knew that the 360 had hardware faultiness, like they were positioning all of the inside components too close together and bunching all of it up way too much. It was an oversight issue. And it wasn't even an oversight issue, it was a greed issue. Because they knew that it was going to do that, and yet they still peddled it to the public for how long? Just so they could beat Sony in the PS3 to Christmas season. Just so they could get a little bit extra, just to get those people to buy their product first. They fucking lied to us. Straight up, they lied to us. And it's like, how do you forgive that? I don't. And don't get me wrong, Sony ain't the best either. And neither is Nintendo. But at least they're not selling me a product that's going to guarantee die. You know what I mean? Like, all of my Sony products, all of them, still work. All of them. So, like, I don't know what to say. All of my Nintendo products work. All of them. Xbox is the only one, the only company I've had a system from where 3 of them, back to back, had the same problem. And it's like, what the fuck? Anyway, back on the point, air combat. It was one of the PlayStation 1's first, like, not first, it might have actually been, I don't remember, I was too young to specifically know, but it was one of the first games I played for the PlayStation 1. I don't know if it was a launch title, but in air combat, because you had to buy your planes and stuff and everything, right? If one of your planes blew up, or like you smashed it into the ground or whatever, you lost that plane. You had to go re-buy that plane again to use it. Granted, you could just save before the mission and then reload that save if you blow up your plane. But if you didn't save, you had to go re-buy that plane. And that's like what Resident Evil 1 didn't come out as a launch title, but that's a lot what Resident Evil 1 is versus like Resident Evil 4. Back then it was harder because Resident Evil 4, you get checkpoint system, you get enemies that are carrying pitchforks that are for some reason holding 9mm handgun rounds. Like, why? Why would you even? Dude's got a bunch of shotgun shells, and there's not a shotgun in the next 3 villages. Like, what's going on here? Whereas in Resident Evil 1, yeah, there was a bunch of armaments, guns, ammo just lying all around. But at the same time, this is America. That's the country. I mean, you can kind of piece it together from there, right? It doesn't take much to. Anyway, I'm not trying to say any people or whatever the fuck. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, people like to protect themselves, you know? And all the friends that I have that are like that, they stockpile. They stockpile a lot. So, like, it's not really that far-fetched to just find a bunch of boxes of ammo lying around, especially in that, like, context, because that's a super rich old guy. You think he's not gonna have guns? Like, the only reason he wouldn't have guns is because he knew he was gonna jump a bunch of police officers there. But there was no checkpoint system Resident Evil 1. It was, you had an ink ribbon, and you saved with that ink ribbon. And if you forgot to save in the past hour and a half, or however long, and you just magically fucked up and walked into a zombie around the corner, guess who's going back another 2 hours? Yes, 2 hours. Not half an hour, no. Resident Evil 4, that's about as far as I got, was half an hour lost of time. No, Resident Evil 1, you could lose an entire fucking game just because you didn't save it. And a lot of that was, you know, technological difficulty, and they didn't know what they were doing, per se. You know, a lot of it is that. But you just you can't replicate that. It's not something that we'll find today. You know, it's not something that's just gonna appear without a lot of luck. Like the last time I can actually think of something like that was in World of Warcraft, when like allied and horde towns were able to be ransacked by the enemy faction. Like that was the last time I actually remember anything even slightly like this, to where the community came together in a way that it was different. It was just so much different. And I feel like such a fucking geezer saying this, but at the end of the day, it really was. Like, and I'm sure a lot of people that are older than me feel the same exact way, you know? Like, we were playing Resident Evil, and, you know, games like that, Final Fantasy, and our saves were screwed if, you know, whatever. But what about the people who are older than us playing the point and click Sierra games, where even if you saved it, you could have screwed your save, your entire playthrough, hours before that without even knowing. And now that save is just screwed. You soft locked yourself without knowing. It's like games are holding our hands these days. That's why everybody loved Dark Souls when it came out, because it was like, nah, man, here's the game. Die a bunch. Go play. There was no hand holding. There was no checkpoint system. The only checkpoint system was where you got to rest. That was your save points. So everybody loved it. Ninja Gaiden was another one. Everybody loved Ninja Gaiden when it came out. You know, all these people love all these hard games. And it's probably because, you know, that's what we grew up with. We grew up with Doom 1 and Doom 2 rather than Call of Duty. You know, where, oh, I can just sit here for a second and my health will regenerate itself. No, bitch, you gotta go find that shit. In fact, I better hope you have ammo too on top of that shit, because if you don't, guess who's punching his way there? It was so different. It was so different. And I don't mean to sound like, oh, these kids today, they don't know anything that's good. No, 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 that's not what I'm saying. There are still great games today. There are still amazing games. Yeah, not as many, I'm sure, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. You guys can discuss that amongst yourselves. I still like games today. Uh, like, I do have a little bit of weird tastes. I, when I'm not growing bored with it, I do like For Honor. I like that combat. Um, I'm about to die. Uh, you know, I like Ace Combat 7. I like Battlefield. 2042 is a little shaky, but the gameplay itself is pretty clean. And I'm dead. The gameplay itself is pretty clean. You know, it just, it's a time when people were seeing what was possible. Where back then, a lot of shit was possible. And now we see everything that is possible, and we've done it all now. And the only thing left for us to go after is VR, you know? That's what we've got left. And we're already on the heels of it. I hear that they've got the, what is it? The full dive system in works right now, or something like that. And it's like, man, once that happens, where do we go from there? And do we even want that to happen? Like, do we want full dive out there? Think about it. Do we? Do we really? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I do. I would love to experience that, just even if once. That would be cool as hell. But I can see a lot of people losing their lives to it. I don't even know if that hit him. Way too tight of a turn. I don't know. I talk myself in circles sometimes, and I lose myself in the point. My point was, Twisted Metal went through a lot in its tenure. Like, it started off as this, went to Twisted Metal 2, where pretty much I honestly have only heard of one, who did not like Twisted Metal 2 entirely. Like, everyone I've ever talked to loves Twisted Metal 2. And I mean, rightfully so, it's a great game. I love the game. As a matter of fact, of all the Twisted Metals, I've probably played Twisted Metal 2 the most. Out of all of them, including Black, including Head On, including whatever one else that you want to. I played it the most. Even if a lot of it didn't know what it wanted to do, specifically with Sweet Tooth. I feel like Sweet Tooth, they really did not know what to do with him in that time period, Twisted Metal 1 and Twisted Metal 2. Specifically because in Twisted Metal 2, not only is he a locked character, but his ending itself is just so. Why? Like, why would you want that? That's just certified crazy with no reason. That's just, I want to kill things to kill things, and I don't care what kind of things it is. I just want to kill things. And it's like, okay. Why? You know, I feel like a lot of Twisted Metal 2's good endings came from Roadkill specifically. Uh, Roadkill's Twisted Metal 2 ending is one of my favorites. Outlaw 2's ending in Twisted Metal 2 is probably my favorite of the entire series, just because it ties into Twisted Metal 1 so well, and it also is a giant middle finger to Calypso. Like, he basically is, Calypso's laughing down there on Earth at himself, or with himself, about how Jamie fell for the same thing that Carl did, but Jamie's up there finding Carl, and Carl's like, "Oh, sis," and she's like, "I found you," and he goes, "But you're stuck up here too," and he goes, "Ha, what he doesn't know," and she presses the fucking turbo button, and rockets come out of her car, and they go down back to Earth. Which, how the hell did they survive the re-entry? um, but it was a giant fu to Calypso, because in this one, you'll notice Turbo is just Turbo. In Twisted Metal 2, Turbo has fire coming out of your ass. Whatever tailpipe you've got going on, fire's coming out of it. And I mean specifically the tailpipe, because Roadkill has side pipes, and the fire comes out of the side pipes instead of the back. Oh, you would turn. But yeah, no, they felt like they didn't really know what to do with Sweet Tooth. Like, Sweet Tooth was the front and center character on this one because he was a goofy yet crazy. It was exactly what Twisted Metal was all about. It didn't have to make sense. It was a brand new IP that we were just seeing what people liked, you know, and that's a lot of what PlayStation 1 and 64 was back then. It was, let's just throw ideas out there and see what sticks. And a lot of them were cool, and a lot of them were not so cool. A lot of them were not well done. However, what ones that people latched onto, Resident Evil, Twisted Metal, you know, so on and so forth, it set fire, like, to the world almost, in a way. Like Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth now is almost a household name because of the TV series, and because like a lot of people liked him in it. A lot of people say he was really well done. I still haven't seen it myself. I probably won't because a lot of my electronics are getting fried for some reason. I don't know why. Both my TVs are all they're dead now. I think it's this like this surge protector that killed it, which doesn't make sense because the surge protector says, or naturally, it would only kill something like that if the lights on the surge protector were red or yellow or said it needed replaced. The lights on this surge protector that killed both my TVs are all still green. There's no indication that it needs replaced. It just killed TVs for no reason. I plugged these TVs into different plugs. Now they no longer turn on. There's no light that there's a little red light that says, okay, your TV's turned off. It's plugged in, but it's turned off. No longer any red light, no matter where I plug it. So I'm a little bit miffed. Lost, I don't even know how much money because of a $30 piece of equipment. I don't even know if it was $30. Whatever. Point of the matter is, I'm out 2 TVs. And with the laptop that almost, I was worried it was going to die. It didn't, thankfully. I thought everything was just frying itself for no reason. I was kind of paranoid. So, still got the Switch, still got the laptop, can't play the PS4 anymore. It's okay. Can't play the PS2, can't play the N64, a little less okay. Can't watch stuff unless it's on the laptop, which is also okay. But yeah, weird stuff's happening. I don't know. Ooh, damn it. Go, go, go! But yeah, no, that's why I like Outlaw 2's ending so much, is because, like, it was the first time that a gameplay mechanic changed, and because of that change of gameplay mechanic, it also altered and made a difference in one of the stories. And that was just super cool to me. Like, that was the only ending, I think, where it actually made a difference that Turbo was actual fire, like actual nitrous from the tailpipes and everything. I mean, I guess it was nitrous. What else would it have been in that year? Unless you're just attaching afterburners to the cars. Which, I mean, that's kind of what it looked like in the ending. It kind of looked like she just had straight up jet turbines on her car. But yeah, no, Twisted Metal, it was always silly. It was always goofy. But there was also a darkness to it, a reason for it. And like, Twisted Metal Black really brought that home with all these crazies in the asylum, and they get one wish, anything they want. And that makes you think, well, what do these guys want? And that you were invested. You wanted to see what their story was. You know, these guys were so, depressingly colorful in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to put that. They were bright and colorful in the darkest way. And it was a nice, fresh breath of grim reality that the series really needed, that it was missing out on. Because if you look at it, like, look at this arena right here. It's almost painstakingly made to look as natural and real as possible. Painstakingly. And then in Twisted Metal 2, it starts to get a little bit less real and more fantastical. In Twisted Metal 3, all the shit went out the window. It's all fantastical now, almost no serious at all. Twisted Metal 4, still very, 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 very silly, but at least there's some sort of semblance of meaning to the story. Sweet Tooth wanted control of the tournament after winning so many years. Makes sense. Calypso wants his power back. Makes sense. Everything else really fell short. But those two things, that was Twisted Metal. You know what I mean? Like that in itself was Twisted Metal. Everything else about it, such as where Calypso's power came from, not Twisted Metal. Definitely lost where they were coming from with that one. Like, was 4989? I forget. I know 3 was. Oh, that's exactly what I didn't want. I thought he was going to be frozen a little bit longer than that. Yeah, Thumper, his special will fry pretty much everybody. Alright, Assault on Suburbia. This is where I died last time. If I clear it, there will be one left, and it'll be Rooftop Rumble, and then Minion at the very end. So I'm going to try and stock up here, because there isn't too many weapon pickups in Rooftop. Don't ask me how I knew it was that one right there. I did not. I guessed. I just know it's one of these 4 that opens up like that, and on top... Oh! Ow! 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 On top of each one of them is a little hidey hole. If you're Spectre, I found this out when I was a little kid. They don't come up here. They don't even register you up here most of the time. I mean, they register you up here, but like, they don't register the pathing to get up here. And you could just literally sit here. If like, you don't care about time, you could sit here for probably up to half an hour, just special missiling everybody, dropping down every now and again to pick up a homing missile. You know? This is all you'd have to do, and you'd clear this. It would take forever, but you'd clear it. You'd definitely win. Because I've got 4 people around me. There's only 2 down right in front of me. But watch how many times they actually come up here. And this is all 4 of these corners. Like, every single one of them has one of these. And you can just sit here. Especially as Spectre. And just win the whole match just sitting up here. Now, I get bored doing that, so I'm not going to do that. But if anyone has any trouble with this one in particular, just do that. If you have to, go ahead, dude. Because I did it when I was, when I was a kid. Fuck it. Why not? I'm a proponent of you play on the easy difficulty as long as it makes you have fun. You should not have to worry about being a hardcore gamer. At all. It should not matter. It really should not. Games are meant to have fun. That is why, sometimes, I cheat on them. I only cheat on single-player ones where I'm playing it by myself, and I am not one of those crazies that go out and say, oh, I cleared a world record speedrun time. No, dude, I keep that shit to myself because it's just for fun. Now, if I'm playing serious, because I do speedrun, if you can't tell, I've been talking about Resident Evil so goddamn much for the old ones. I do speedrun. I do play seriously. I do play some competitive game. Like I said, Battlefield. But for the most part, I'm not really that competitive. I don't really enjoy the hate mail thing. Like, it makes me laugh, for sure. Like, you thought that was gonna affect me, buddy? You thought you being mad at me killing you in a game is gonna somehow make you feel better? Whatever. But like, I don't enjoy that. That doesn't make me smile out of my way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go out of my way to get hate mail. I would rather help out a noob than piss off an elite. Because even though it's super entertaining pissing off an elite gamer, what really came of it? Like, what did you accomplish? Not really anything. You just piss somebody off. What to do? That's super easy to do. Hell, a kid can do that. So like, big whoop, you know, like, play games that have fun. Like I said, I played Doom when I was a kid. I play Doom even to now. And while I play nothing under ultra violence, I will never look down on somebody who does play easy. You know, I'm too young to die. Yeah, if you play that, dude, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. Did y'all see that? Did you this dude just motorstorm rammed me? Holy crap! He like juked in movement and everything. Damn. Anyway, yeah, just have fun. You know, that's what games are for. Games have got me through a lot of tough times in my life, and I've learned to appreciate them in a way that I guess not a lot of people do anymore. Like, play games with friends, play games by yourself, play games to take the boredom away, play games to not feel so shitty about the human race, play games to forget some bad shit that happened. You know, like, yeah, games might piss you off, but at the end of the day, they're there to fucking assist you. You know, they're there to make you feel better. Or scare the shit out of you. Whichever. It could be both. Yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to stock up on armament here right now, so it's taking me a second. This is the map to do it though. Out of all of the maps, this is the one with the most item drops, I believe. But in order for it to actually reach that point, you have to blow up a lot of the cars that are just civilian cars. Like this van right here. I don't even know what that was, but I picked up something. And yeah, I think the inclusion of the turbo abilities, the machine gun left right up to fire missile or whatever, that's, or not fire missile, freeze missile. That's so much better than having a actual freeze missile or an actual mine pickup. So like, it takes not only having to gather them out of the equation, it also takes having to switch to and from them out of the equation, which is a huge bonus to me. Like, I'm trying to dodge, move, you know, dip, dive, duck, dodge, whatever. I'm trying to do that while I'm playing, and I gotta concentrate on where the fire's coming from. I gotta concentrate on the map. I gotta concentrate on, oh, I'm about to hit this wall, you know. I can't concentrate all on focusing on exactly what, if I'm having to switch through like that, oh, did I get the right one? I'm letting off the gas now. I'm focusing too much on that. I have to one at a time, you know, like look down, look down, look down, look down, look down, and then reach the one that I want, and then go about my business. It's very distracting, but it's a part of the game, and I love it. Oh, 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 sweet tooth, back up. You know what, dude? Have fun with that. Ooh, somebody almost got me there. Hi, Grim. Nope, I don't want to be caught in front of you. Your special hurts a lot, too. More than sweet tooths. Did not want the mine. Blame it for his car. He didn't even give me anything. like oil. What was the purpose of oil? Like I get like messing up the shot, right? Like if someone's driving like that, someone just dumped oil on me and now I'm slipping around. But at the same time, that has almost no usefulness in anything other than the drop-offs. And guess what? There's only one of those. So oil really only totally even makes even a noticeable difference in the last fight. In the last fight. Same thing with the jump pads. I feel like they put the jump pads in there just to give Sweet Tooth a weapon to use. Because, like, I've noticed, Darkseid uses freeze missiles constantly. Sweet Tooth uses the jump pads almost constantly. Should think about another health. I'm starting to feel it. And that shit, like your car boundaries aren't the greatest. They're not very clean, and you'll find yourself hanging up on shit that you shouldn't be hanging up on. Like, what the fuck is... And why did they put a tree right in front of that? I always got confused by that. I feel like they were just assholes to be assholes for that. See, that's how you play Spectre. You run away, save up your specials, and then let them all loose in the direction of a whole bunch of enemies. And just run away again. That's literally the best way to play Spectre. He's a pussy. Grim, however, you have to be, like, aggressive with Grim. Because his special is so forward intensive. It's a power missile. It's a super powerful power missile, is all it is. So you have to, like, be up in people's business to actually get that fucker off. And while at the same time, you have no armor, so you gotta be moving. You gotta be exactly how I play as Spectre when I'm getting shot at by somebody. Don't be driving in a straight line. Don't drive in a straight line. Always be slightly turning a little bit. Because if you turn this way, and then turn that way, and then turn that way, that fire missile won't be able to hit you as well. Because it's got to arc, and then arc, and then arc, and then arc. It's the same essentially as trying to evade an anti-air missile. You know, don't go in the same direction. Don't be predictable. Outlaw uses oil, I remember that, yeah. I have all these songs memorized, and I have for a very, very long time. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what killed me the last time that I played. Just smacking face first into Sweet Tooth. I gotta find some help though. And I don't even think there is any. Actually, I think there is one. And this isn't even the one that I thought it was. There should be one more too. On the other side. Or opposite, rather. Oh! Oh, there goes all that help that I just had. I didn't even see Grim come up. I didn't think that was gonna hit him. Yeah, those power missiles. If you can nail them, they're pretty useful. Like if you can hit that green shell in Mario Kart, you should be good. You should be good. Should not have used machine guns on that because he gave me some damage. You just keep on putting them special missiles on them. Every single time you get a chance, you know they're in that direction, just fire it off in the general direction. If it starts curving around really hard, you gotta lock on, and 9 out of 10 times you're gonna hit them. If it goes in a straight line, you didn't get anybody. But see how it's like curving around like that? It hits somebody. It's not impossible to dodge Spectre missiles, but it is difficult, especially when you're on the move. Because the only way to actually verifiably dodge a Spectre missile with any certainty is to stay still, is to not move. Let it circle around you. As long as you're in the center of its radius, if it like circles around you, if you can get it to circle around you, that Spectre missile won't hit you. It's scary as hell to see, and it's scary as hell to even think about because other people are shooting at you too. But if you're got 1 health left and he's the last one and he's far away from you and there's a Spectre missile circling you, just don't move. Just don't move. That's your best bet. Or, well, don't move after you've noticed it circle in front of you. After you notice a circle in front of you, stop moving. If you get it right, it won't hit you. But it's really hard to get it right because you gotta be perfectly placed. I hate these freeze missiles. Saw that coming. Oh, right into Pit Viper. Alright, now I actually gotta focus. I died twice and I'm upset with myself. This is the second time this has happened, and I should not be this bad. Especially after all that ammo that I collected. Well, dark side's out. That should hit Crimson. Like I said, they're not impossible to dodge. You can dodge Spectre missiles. It's just not easy. And it's very counterproductive most of the time to even try to. Most of the time, if you're being tailed by a Spectre missile, you're also being tailed by like 3 other people. So it's just a benefit to not stop at that point. Just take the Spectre missile. It's not going to do too much damage to you compared to what they will do. It's all it's a plus and minus game, you know? Sometimes it's just attrition. And with Spectre, a lot of the time it is. Sometimes you just gotta play the back foot. look at anybody for a bit. Pick up some shit. Don't waste your homing missiles like I just did. Hammerhead's down. Ah, I did not mean to. I wasted that. Especially with this dude trying to slam into me. Up, 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 up. Okay. Thank you. Pit Viper's still at full health. Woo! Did y'all see that drift? Almost smacked face first into him. Fired at a dead guy. I honestly just want Warhog now. Warhog is one of the worst ones to fight with Spectre. Bar none. Him and Thumper are probably the worst two. That would have hit me right there if I hadn't scooted back. That one did hit me. If I'm not wrong, there might be a rear flame up on one of these. And rear flames are pretty rare. They only show up in like 4 or 5 spots. Yep, here it is. 4 or 5 spots in the entire game, I think. And Warthog abuses the shit out of that thing. He loves rear flame. So don't chase Warthog too close. Warthog's down. And honestly, I don't ever really use rear flame. I'm too far ahead of people most of the time. 9 times out of 10, if I'm playing Twisted Metal, or I can't even say 9 times, a little bit over half the time, if I'm playing Twisted Metal, I'm probably playing one of the squirrely little light bastards. That's just my play style. I can play the heavy ones and still win. In fact, Hammerhead, like I said last time I played this, Hammerhead was the one that I first beat Twisted Metal with. Specifically, this one. And this is actually my favorite Hammerhead. The green fucking pickup with the big ass wheels. Yeah, that's my favorite Hammerhead. Oh, he turned right on me ready. Damn. That didn't even either. No, 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 no. Go, 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 go. Get out of there, get out of there. Oh, still get out of there. Woo. Just those 2 left. I'm almost dead. Nope. I'm just gonna keep moving. Keep moving. Alright, here we go. There we go. Now we're in business. Dead. One left. Yeah, see, like if I actually fucking focus, I can actually do it. As soon as I start not thinking about shit, I tend to die a lot. That's okay with me. As long as I can prove it to myself that I can do it, that's what counts. What is this? I think it's a fire missile. Oh, missed that one. Ow. Boom. Alright. But yeah, no, like I was saying last time I streamed this, Marcus, Marcus Kane, Roadkill. He might be the single-handed most important character in the entire series. Specifically for the reason that he's the guy who, without a doubt, the most times in the series, has been the closest to realizing what reality really is. In Twisted Metal 2, he's the only one that realizes that they're all not actually awake. They're all dreaming. And they're all actually in a coma from like a 42 car pileup. And it's everybody in the Twisted Metal 2 competition all laid out in the hospital. And he's the only one that woke up. Because he won and he said, I just want all this. I want to see what's real. You know, I want to know what's the truth. And so Calypso's like, all right, sure. And then into Metal Black, he's the only one that realizes that we're not in reality, we're in Sweet Tooth's head. And then in Twisted Metal Head On, Roadkill and Sweet Tooth both. You see, in this one, Sweet Tooth is the only one who realizes what reality truly is to them. Because when Marcus gets his wish, he says he wants this nightmare to end. And Calypso says, not even I can grant all wishes completely. And he says, but I'll do what I can. There we go. And he puts him to sleep, and Marcus wakes up in his bed, and he goes, oh, it must have all just been a dream. And then he turns towards the camera, and his face shifts to Needles as Sweet Tooth, saying, I never liked this place anyway. Or I never did like this place. This is my favorite song in the entire game. But yeah, Sweet Tooth in that one was the one that actually realized what was most real. So much so that in Sweet Tooth's ending, specifically, he wants to switch places with Calypso, and Calypso says, oh, I would never grant that wish. And Sweet Tooth himself says, I don't think you have a choice there, Sunshine. And then they switch bodies. aka Calypso, is beholden to some sort of contract with these powers to where if someone does win the competition, he has to grant them whatever they want, whether or not he likes it. He can twist it if he wants, if he's able to, but he is still required to make that wish come true, whether or not he wants it. Like, as long as it's worded the way that it's worded, when Sweet Tooth says, I want to be me, I want to be you, and you be me. And that was his wish. I want to be you, and you be me. There's no room for error in that wish. I want to be you. That was his wish. And that's what he got. Despite Calypso laughing at it, like he didn't even think anything would happen. He's like, huh, I would never grant that. You're so stupid. Why would I ever think it? Sweet Tooth laughs right back. He goes, I've been at this game pretty long too, and I'm thinking I get to say what actually happens now. See, with Twisted Metal 4, the reason why I didn't like it is because Calypso's power came entirely from a ring. It was this ring that had something in it. Like, I don't know if it was ever fully explained because made by a different company altogether. But like, there was just a lot in Twisted Metal 3 and 4 that they didn't really think through. It didn't seem like they were just like, throw that in there. Say, I want to say that there are hard counters in this game, kind of like how I was saying that they wanted to make Overwatch with cars before Overwatch ever existed, because the developers literally said, I want this to be treated like a fighting game, like a literal fighting game where your cars are your fighters and they each have their own thing about them, etc., etc. You know, but at the same time, while I want to say that there are hard counters, there probably aren't, or rather there are so much so that it's broken, specifically for the reason that Spectre, in my eyes, is everybody's fucking hard counter. He counters everybody. That's why he's my favorite character. You can play Spectre any way you want. If you don't want to be near anybody, you don't have to be. You can sit on the edge of the map, and as long as they're on your map, your mini map, and you are in their direction, your missiles will hit them. And if you've been like kind of watching as I've been running that last map, Suburbia, I'll fucking go top speed, and then when I get a special, whip around, and then whip back around and keep driving after I shoot it. Like that. Just whip, fire it mid-turn, keep driving. Like that's Spectre's intense strong point. I've only got one life left though. Gonna be a bitch to fight Minion if he corners me. So I need to get all these while I can, because he'll corner me up here and I'll just be screwed. Ah. Not respawn yet. Ooh, that was close. Why am I in this view again? I know it switches me back every time the match starts, but this is just how I like to have the viewpoint. And almost, if I'm able to have the steering wheel in front of me, the windshield in front of me, and everything in my speedometer and all this, it looks like real life and whatever the fuck, dude, I prefer that. That's why I like Forza, because like I'm just sitting there in the fucking the vehicle driving seat, and I love that. I love that they put the time to actually like map out the whole fucking dash and everything for all the cars and make the sounds and how the car drives somewhat, like you're not gonna get it perfect, I'm sure, but whatever. One of them missed. That's okay. Nope, don't want that. Because that will not kill Minion. You can throw him off the side and he'll come back. Like, he takes only a little tiny bit of damage when he falls off the edge like that. So there's almost no incentive to actually throw him off the edge, because most of the time you'll just be wasting time and life doing so. So you're better off just kiting him. Honestly, that's the only way to fucking fight Minion, is to kite him. Because if you're going face to face with Minion, it does not matter who you are. He has more armor, and he has stronger weapons. I say that because his special attack is everybody's special attack. All of them at once. Or all of them that apply at once. Like, Hammerheads, he's not really going to use that when he uses it, because Hammerhead, you have to actually be on top of somebody to even have a trigger. However, he does shoot out Pit Viper, Outlaw 2, or Outlaws, Spectres, fucking Crimson Fury, Darkseid, everybody's, dude. So it's just not smart to be right next to him, no matter what you're doing. Because he will eat you alive. Come on, I know that was on her. Kind of hard to get up that ramp. He ain't gonna be surviving much longer either. I don't want to open this box up. Fucking mine. And I don't think there's anything in here. Yeah. Open these boxes up. Oh, that hurt. Woo! Test of fate there. I should have enough though. I should be good with all these missiles. As long as I don't miss too much. Let's go ahead and replenish my health real quick. And then send off a missile to roadkill. And then spawn Minion. Kill. Still not dead. That should take care of you. Still low. Oh, that won't hit. Okay. Die already. I mean, this is my favorite. You are the favorite version of roadkill for me. Like, that look for roadkill is the coolest. I love that. The junkyard dog shit. I love that. For roadkill, it works. Thank you. Alright. You made it to the final round. Prepare to battle Minion, last year's Twisted Metal winner. Oh, he coming. Oh, Lord, he coming. I'm out. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, go, 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 go. That's the sound he makes for a special. I'm not entirely sure what that sound even's supposed to be. No! Okay, I give up. Oh no. Oh, I tried to turn. Anyway, obviously I can do it. Obviously. I just decided to make some stupid decisions. No, yeah, it happens. I've played Twisted Metal a lot, and that ending is just he comes back to life and goes back to his family, which is honestly my favorite ending for this game. Uh, in the unreleased versions of the endings, Calypso gives him back his life, but then pulls a gun on him and shoots him in the chest, killing him again, which is just Calypso, the most Calypso thing to do. But all right, I'm probably gonna switch games real quick. I will be right back. I don't know what I'm gonna be playing though. I will return.